wear backpacks that other people wear and hang out in the same areas that other people hang out in. It's 4 in the morning, dude. I've had a backpack like that, and nobody in this neighborhood had a backpack like that until I bought this backpack. I am homeless, and I've been generally hanging around this area. And here it is, 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning, and you're sitting there at a bench. You're sitting there at a bench wearing a coat just like mine. Just like mine, my undercoat, and a backpack just like mine. Exactly like mine. You're quite literally impersonating me. Now you fucking walked right on the block I was at, and you crossed the street. I was at Walgreens when you was over there, and you walked right in front of me, and you crossed the street. You went behind this building, and you went in that direction. I went back there in that building to get you on video because you got a backpack just like mine. And gee, guess what? You came back going this way, and then you come over here, and now you're sitting at a bus stop when the buses ain't even running because it's fucking 4 in the morning. You're fucking impersonating. You're an impersonator. You must be a cop.
Okay, dude, whatever.
You're a fucking impersonator. Officer Eric Carlson committed a murder, and he was impersonating me. I don't find it fucking funny at all. You're a fucking cop. You're an impersonator. You're fucking impersonating me. You're dressing up just like me. You got a backpack just like mine. I bought that backpack. It was discontinued at Big 5 Sporting Goods. Discontinued. Nobody in this neighborhood had a backpack like this. Here it is fucking 4 in the morning, and you're fucking impersonating me in this neighborhood. You're fucking impersonating me.
And you're harassing me.
You're impersonating.
Go about your business, bud.
You're impersonating because guess what? You didn't even go to a store here. You just went back behind this building, and then you came back the same fucking way.
I walked to Walmart to see if I couldn't go sit down and take a shit. But I seen folks standing at the door with the door not open, so they must be closed. I had the wrong Walmart. This was not 24 hours.
You're a cop, and you're too damn calm about this. You're way too cop. You're way too calm. I already know Portland cops dress up and impersonate people. You're wearing the same fucking kind of coat I'm wearing, and you're wearing the same goddamn fucking backpack. You're a fucking impersonator, and you're in the same area I am in at 4 in the fucking morning and doing jack shit. Now I'm homeless. I slept over there all this night, and here, gee, well, I happen to wake up and I get up and I happen to notice, oh, here's you walking the neighborhood at 4 in the morning in the same block 8 radius that I happen to be at, and you're fucking impersonating. Yeah, it's funny to you. You're not waiting for a fucking bus.
No, I'm killing time, bud.
You're impersonating, and you're caught on video. Okay. Officer Eric Carlson was doing this shit, and he's guilty of fucking murder. He committed a break-in while impersonating me, and he committed a murder. Officer Eric Carlson was having an affair with my wife. I deem you a fucking cop, and I'm going to publicize it. And I deem you a guilt accessory to the murder Officer Eric Carlson committed.
Alright.
Fucking impersonator. 4 in the fucking morning, man. Your bullshit story doesn't mean shit. You don't even have a story. It's 4 in the morning, and you're impersonating me at 4 in the morning. In the very area that I happen to be at. And you're caught on video doing it.
Well, not that it's any of your business. I've had this now.
I don't doubt that. I wouldn't be surprised if you got the same type of boots that I have. That wouldn't surprise me either, or at least semi-similar. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
$20 at the Goodwill up there on the back.
Gee, they're about the same color as mine, too.
They're dark.
Wow.
Get the fuck out of here.
Close enough. You don't have to be exact to be a double.
Why would I fuck you got going? I want to be you.
Because Officer Eric Carlson and his partners.
I don't know about no fucking Eric Carlson, dude.
You asked the question, I'm answering it. Because he was impersonating me and he was having an affair with my wife. And he committed a murder. And you know what? You don't give a fuck about that. And you know why?
It's not my business.
Oh yeah, cops can kill people all they fucking want to. That's not your business. You don't give a damn about victims. Well, when people are fucking impersonating me in the very area that I happen to be at, I'm going to fucking document it.
You can't document that.
Nobody has these backpacks. This was a discontinued backpack when I bought it.
Are you serious? You can go down to fucking Andy and Backs and see a whole aisle of these fucking backpacks. Fuck out of here.
I don't care.
You don't care? You just told me.
I don't believe you, dude. I don't believe you because I bought this at Big Five and it was the last one they fucking had and it was discontinued.
How much you pay for your backpack?
None of your concern. Bought it brand new.
I bought mine brand new at that loss over there. Mine's an SOG.
Yeah, and I bet you bought it for after I bought mine because you're a fucking double. Because nobody in this fucking neighborhood was wearing these backpacks. Nobody until I bought this.
You're a regular innovator, aren't you?
You're a regular double. You're a fucking impersonator, man, and you find it amusing. The fact that it's amusing to you. Officer Eric Carlson committed a murder with the intent of trying to frame me.
Leave me alone.
He committed a murder with the intent to frame me, and as far as I'm concerned, every fucking cop in this town is trying to cover his ass. I deem you to be a fucking cop or a relative of a fucking cop.
No.
I deem you, you're sure as hell not a bum. You're sure the fuck not a person homeless on the fucking street. You're just a dude grinning and smirking and impersonating.
Yeah, dude, because you're fucking out of your mind. I just walked from fucking city to you.
You're fucking dressed like me. I ain't out of anything. You got a coat like mine. You got a backpack like mine. And you're out in that fucking area that I'm at 4 in the morning.
Well, go down to a different area. I didn't even see you over here. You followed me around the fucking corner.
Gee, you got a very unusual pattern. Why didn't you just go up this way? You would have saved yourself a long walk. You went that way because you fucking noticed that I was looking for you and that I was talking to the person at Subway over there, asking where did that dude go? Did you see a guy with a black coat?
So you're following me now?
You're impersonating me, dude. You walk past me when I'm over there at Walgreens. You're fucking impersonating me. I'm documenting it on video. And I'm not hiding that back from you either.
Oh, I see that.
Not hiding it at all.
Oh, I know.
And since a public fucking sidewalk, I have every fucking right to record.
But the fact that you're recording me without my permission...
I don't need your fucking permission on a public fucking sidewalk, dude.
Yeah,
you're out in the public, dude. And you're impersonating me, dude.
Whatever.
You're breaking fucking laws, dude. Impersonating people at 4 in the fucking morning. You must be a criminal.
No, man. Last thing I got in trouble for...
Yeah, you sound like a fucking sting-op, man. Yeah. You fucks don't fear prosecution. You sting-ops don't fear prosecution at all.
No.
I know, you just impersonate people and don't give a fuck.
Just for the record.
4 in the fucking morning. For what? You want to say something to the record? Go ahead.
I actually look like your backpack better than mine.
I know every single sting-off in this town likes my backpack better. Every sting-off in this town likes my backpack better because I have a substantial amount of evidence on Officer Eric Carlson and his partners.
What does his partner say?
What?
What does his partner say?
Officer John Ray. I don't know all his partners' names. I know some of them by first name. He was having an affair with my wife. They were setting me up in a sting operation. Officer Eric Carlson and his partners took over the surrounding apartments, surrounding my apartment. That motherfucker was dressing up like me and impersonating me.
That's quite unfortunate.
My wife and my wife's side of the family and my wife's daughters were aiding and abetting them. And my wife was fucking poisoning me while she was having this affair with him, while he was impersonating me. My wife worked at East Fort Walmart at the time. Everybody in that.
How long ago was that? Because I know
That was 2005.
2005.
2005.
My mom used to work at that Walmart for 5-6 years when they first opened up shop.
Well, my wife worked there, and everybody in that fucking store knew about my wife's affair with Officer Eric Carlson. She didn't hide it from a fucking soul. Everybody in that store in 2005 knew about it. When I found out about it, my wife fucking poisoned me, and the police department used their influence at the hospital to deny me any form of emergency services. In other words, they covered it up. My doctor wouldn't help me because of the police department's influence. I had all the signs of poisoning. She flat out poisoned me with fucking antifreeze. I had antifreeze poisoning symptoms, and yet the doctor just looked me in the face and go, "Well, we don't really know what's wrong." And they didn't even take a toxicology test. They refused to take a toxicology.
They didn't draw no blood or nothing?
They didn't do shit other than to they spent more time out in the hallway talking to the police officer than they did in my ER room. They were too busy the doctors were so busy taking orders from the cops out in the hallway that they didn't even bother to hardly discuss shit with me, and they just covered it up. They didn't draw blood. They didn't do anything. They didn't take a toxicology test. They didn't do anything other than stand out in the fucking hallway at the hospital, and they fucking talked to the officers. And the officer that my doctor was first talking to was Officer Eric Carlson's partner. His name is Shannon. I don't know his last fucking name, but his first name is fucking Shannon. And so my wife's lover's partner covered it up at the hospital. It only took him a 60-second conversation. The fucking doctor just covered it up just like that. And he just acted like he didn't know what was wrong after that. To be poisoned is no different than being shot. You know, you're going to suffer symptoms. You're going to suffer debilitating symptoms. And my doctor ignored the symptoms I was suffering because he was covering it up. And the reason why was because the Portland police showed up on the scene at the hospital and was directing my doctor to do just that. And I could fucking hear them out in the hallway having that conversation. So I know damn well they covered it up. And it was my wife's lover's partner that did that. As long as people are dressing up like me and impersonating me, no, I won't have a good morning. I have no choice but to document when it happens because it happens almost every single day. Almost every single day. I get stalked by people that have backpacks just like mine. At the library, at the county library, and I have it on video. Somebody put a backpack just like mine. I'm sitting at the table, I'm out on the internet at the library, and I have my backpack on the floor next to my suitcase here. And somebody comes into the library, sits at the same table I'm sitting at, and they put a fucking backpack exactly like mine on the opposite side of my suitcase. They did that with every intent of trying to swap out my backpack with theirs. This dude that did this was a cop. Actually, he's a detective because of his age, because he was like in his 60s, the guy that did this. He's in his 60s, which means he's not a cop, he's a fucking detective. And he did this with the intent of attempting to swap out backpacks. And he was hoping I wouldn't notice. And I noticed, and I got it on video. There was somebody over there shining a flashlight at me, a very bright flashlight. They're either in the graveyard or over on the other side of the graveyard, over near Walgreens over there. They're in between those trees that are right over there, but they're like way beyond those trees. They shined a really bright flashlight at me. I'm going to leave this on in case they do it again, and I'm heading back in that direction. See if I can get this first on video. It's a very bright flashlight. I mean, it has to be a military grade type of flashlight because the person that shined the flashlight was like near Walgreens, which is like where that street light is, way the fuck down there. And I'm standing at that bus stop right there, and it was extremely bright. And it was a narrow beam, so it wasn't one of those large type of flashlights. It was a narrow beam type of flashlight, but it was extremely bright. I just took one of the sting off that was impersonating me over there by East Coast Plaza Center. And as I walked away from that encounter / confrontation, somebody inside the graveyard area here with an extremely bright flashlight started flashing a flashlight at me. There's a cop. The lights are going. Somebody's in this fucking graveyard, flashing a very bright flashlight at me. This amounts to stalking me illegally. I didn't see the person run away. The person should still be in this area somewhere. He'd be hiding behind one of the trees more than likely. Now I'm partially paralyzed after the pain. I can't run, and whoever did this, I can't run after the person. Get the person on video. Officer Eric Carlson and Officer John Ray murdered a child. There's a fucking sting off in this graveyard right now stalking me. Hey, pedophile cop, why don't you flash your flashlight again? You fucking pedophile cop. You gutless fuck pedophile cops! Officer Eric Carlson and Officer John Ray brutally murdered a child! Fuck you, cop! Somebody shining the light at me again, and it reflected off of this right here, which gave the impression whoever did it somehow snuck over here. So they might have more than one person that's following me right now and doing this. Hey, I think I see a vehicle in there. Oh, that means there's Portland cops in there sitting in their fucking vehicles. Because it's like, what? Let's see, it's like 4:30 in the morning. This place isn't open, this graveyard isn't open for business. So why is a vehicle sitting in there? Sting op? At fucking 4:30 in the morning. Because it's fucking Portland cops or county sheriff officers. That's why. It looks like there's a fucking vehicle. I think I can see the shine off of the front fender of a vehicle right over there, in between those tombstones. There's a vehicle right there, just parked. Officer Eric Carlson and Officer John Ray murdered a kid. Portland cops covered up my 911 calls. The type of flashlights they're using. Aha! He just caught the son of a bitch. He shined a green flashlight at me. They're fucking stalking me while they have flashlights. They just shined a green flashlight at me. Hiding right in front of this fucking store, shining a goddamn fucking flashlight at me. It had a green lens on it. Officer Eric Carlson and Officer John Ray murdered a kid. Now where's that sting off that's fucking stalking my ass right now? Where's that gutless fuck coward bastard? Officer Eric Carlson killed a kid. I don't see him. He must be put off. Although there's somebody way the fuck over there. Behind that tree over there.
You're hollering at the man down there?
What?
You're hollering at the man down there?
Somebody was aiming a flashlight, a very bright flashlight at me.
Oh,
Not that, not
it
that,
wasn't this then.
not that. What they had was a military grade flashlight.
All right.
They're aiming it at me when I was at the bus stop down there,
Oh, shit.
on the other side of the grave,
Document that shit.
on the other side of the graveyard over that way across the street.
In the cemetery.
They had a military grade flashlight. It was extremely bright.
No shit. In the cemetery? In the cemetery. One of them floodlights, huh? I just seen him move.
Well, there's more than one. One of them had one. It had a normal lens. There was a second person that had another flashlight. It had a green lens, and the person that had the green lens was right here in front of the store. And as I was across the street and over in the graveyard trying to find the dude that was over there shining the flashlight at me, the dude that was here shined the fucking flashlight at me, and I saw him, and I think I caught it on video. So. What? No, they're stalking me, they're following me, and then when I try to get them on video, they take off. They run off. I'm disabled, I'm partially paralyzed, I can't run after these people. So it's easy for them to keep their distance from me, and I can't get them up close on video, but I did get them on video. Yeah, he's recording. The person was standing when I was over there by the fence doing all that yelling and pointing out the fact there's a vehicle in that graveyard. Somebody right there where that garbage can is aimed a flashlight at me, and it's a very bright flashlight. It has to be some type of a military grade flashlight, because I don't think you can buy flashlights that are that bright from that far of a distance, you know, like at a normal store. You have to understand, when I was at the bus stop down the street, it just started. When I'm at the bus stop, you see that white sign way the fuck down there? I mean, not the top one, the big one at the top, but the two smaller ones. I mean, now that's like a block and a half, possibly 2 blocks away. That's over where the bus stop where I was standing at, and the person that shined the normal lens flashlight at me was in the graveyard over in this corner area somewhere, and they were shining it at me, and it was really bright. I mean, it has to be military grade type of a flashlight, or a police grade type of a flashlight. And as I was walking along the graveyard here to try to find who this person is that's shining this flashlight at me, a second person was standing right there, literally right there, and was fucking aiming a same type of a flashlight at me, only it had a green lens on it. I think my camera caught it. I think my camera picked it up. I think I turned my camera in time to catch it. And of course the person took off. I'm afraid to shut my camera off. I'm afraid if I shut it off and put it away, they'll just start up again. Those two dudes, they had a small normal flashlight, that, you know, the type of normal flashlight you get at a store. I don't know if they're involved in it or not, but I suspect they may be. Because those two dudes were right over there. And were heading. They just started heading up that sidewalk here, when a dude that was over here with a flashlight was shining a flashlight at me. So, and it's like I said, I've in repeated videos or vlogs, I'm a victim of a sting. That means multiple people are stalking me and targeting me. They follow me, they gang stalk me everywhere I go. They impersonate me, they mimic me, and they harass and taunt and terrorize. I think I've demonstrated that. God, I missed it right again. Can't fucking record a vlog, pay attention to the fucking street lights as you drive here and take fucking time. Trying to explain what happened. And at the same time, I have to pay attention to the street lights. It's like, well, If I'm going to sit here and explain what happened and point out this area, point out that area, and point out what these dudes are doing in these areas, well then I'm not paying attention to the fucking street light and I'm going to miss the light. Let me get across the street for you. My wife, Joe Wagar, in the year 2000, got a job at Oklahoma County Jail Kitchen in the Preston. And my wife began having sexual affairs, sexual relations with people that were either in law enforcement or people that were connected to law enforcement. And as a result, my wife, Joe Wagar, in the year 2000, was recruited into sting operations by the Multnomah County pedophile sheriffs and by the Portland pedophile police department. My wife worked there for only a month and a half. And in that month and a half time, the Multnomah County sheriffs and the Portland police department and my wife were planning and scheming on how to get rid of my ass. And they decided they're going to target me and every member of my side of the family in a sting operation. The day the Multnomah County Sheriff told my wife, Joe Wagar, to quit her job at the Multnomah County Jail Kitchen to hide her connections with them is the exact same day the Multnomah County Sheriffs filled out a shit ton of 72-hour notices to take over the surrounding apartments surrounding my apartment and my father's apartment and my mother's home. They brought in somebody that they could use as a double to impersonate me, and they immediately beset that double, and they literally beset that mother onto that double. They had that double targeting my mother, and they brought in the Dunham family, who happened to be relatives to the Multnomah County fucking sheriffs and have a long history of sting operations and framing people using doubles and photogenic photos for the county sheriffs. They brought in the Dunham family to target my kids. They didn't try to hide their guilt at all. I uncovered their murder conspiracy the day my wife, Joan Wagar, quit her fucking job at the Multnomah County pedophile jail kitchen. Any attempt on their part to hide this organized crime of theirs was half-assed at best. But they stupidly thought I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Because the county sheriffs and the Portland police are stupid. They're so busy womanizing with my wife. The county sheriffs and the Portland police were so busy womanizing with my wife and recruiting our daughters into their sting operation that they were completely blind and oblivious to the fact that I already knew what the fuck was going on. Nobody ever said law enforcement had any measure of intelligence. Now, they had no intention of having trials for anything. They did, after all, bring in a double. The same day they launched the operation, they just wanted to make me look like a bad guy and then frame me for all their shit. And they murdered off my parents. The whole time they were using a double, and the whole time the county sheriffs were surrounding my apartment and were womanizing with my wife, and were constantly directing our daughters to perform for their illegal video surveillance. Now do you know why I call the county sheriffs a bunch of pedophiles? They battered my mother, and they used the double to do it. 3 weeks later, they poisoned my mother and my father. They covered up my mother's 911 call. And then 3 weeks after that, the county sheriff murdered my father. That's when the county sheriffs started blackmailing me with threats and demands for 5 days straight. And when I didn't knuckle under to their demands, that's when the Multnomah County sheriffs and my wife Joan Wager intentionally arranged for me to find out that they have the Dunham family targeting my children. The Dunham family have a history of targeting children, and the Dunham family are poisoners, as well as using doubles and photogenic photos to frame people. They're also Mormons. Flashlight. When I get near the bus stop, which I'm nearing it now, when I get a little shortly beyond this graveyard, I'll be near the bus stop. And I'm nearing it now. I'm aiming the camera at the fence in case they shine that flashlight at me. Now, this kind of behavior that they're exhibiting, their stalking of me, and the fact that they're aiming flashlights at me from a great distance, this type of a pattern, I've seen this before. The people that are doing this are more than likely teenagers, people that are in law enforcement. Law enforcement's relatives do indeed operate in sting operations and in the targeting of people. And law enforcement allows their teenage children to stalk people and to harass and terrorize and taunt people. And that's more than likely what is generally happening right now. There's more than one of them doing it. They never do this kind of thing alone. television. This kind of stalking for them is sport. They treat it like a sport. They get their kids and jolly about doing this kind of thing to people. A couple of seconds ago, they were aiming a military-grade flashlight at me, and look at how much aggravation it caused me. Look at the amount of aggravation it causes. Not to mention the terror it inflicts. And all it takes for them is like taking a handheld flashlight, they just go bloop, bloop like that a couple of times for a couple of seconds. And then they get to sit back and hide someplace, and then they grin and smirk some more. Officer Eric Carlson and Officer John Ray brutally murdered a child. Notice how I can just yell that out here in Portland, Oregon, and everybody just don't care. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares when cops and their relatives are murdering people. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody takes complaints on these people. I'm a good person. I have a history of saving lives. I have always been a good person. When I turned 18, I got a job at Oaks Park. Which was my first job ever, and I got a job there as a ride operator. It was a seasonal job. I was only making minimum wage, of course. I was only 18 at the time. And we had down there at that amusement park where I worked at when I was 18, their busiest days of the year was July 3rd and July 4th, because they had fireworks down there at that amusement park, not just on the 4th, but also on the 3rd. So they would have a firework display on the 3rd and on the 4th. At the time, I think it was the only place in Oregon that had a firework display on July 4th as well as July 3rd. Of course, other places were better, but had better firework displays. But Oaks Park had firework displays on both the 3rd and 4th of July. Well, it was on the July 3rd of 1983. Oaks Park had a blackout on one of their busiest days of the year at nighttime. The whole park, the entire amusement park went dark. I was a new employee at the time. The new employees have to work in Kittyland, and you have to work your way out of Kittyland to the bigger and better rides, of course. But you have to be there for a little while before that happens. All new people get stuck in Kittyland. And there was a transformer that blew up, and that's what caused the blackout. Well, the transformer that blew up, that caused the whole park to go dark, was right above my ride. And that transformer not only blew up, but it was on fire after it blew up, and the power lines going to it were on fire. And there was at least 50 people in Kittyland at risk of electrocution because of this. With no help from anybody else, I was quite literally the only person that knew where the problem was, because the problem was right above my ride. I had to clear out all of Kittyland, get everybody out of that area, and I had to accomplish this in pitch darkness because the entire park was dark. And I got everybody out of Kittyland. I saved around 40, 50 people in Kittyland from electrocution. Saved them. I saved them from electrocution. And right after I saved those people from electrocution, once I had that area cleared, I went over to the Ferris wheel and I saved everybody that was trapped on the Ferris wheel. There was about 25, 30 people that were trapped on the Ferris wheel. Nobody was helping the Ferris wheel operator. Nobody even had the sense to go check on the Ferris wheel operator to see if he needed help or not. His ride was filled with customers, and he had no way to get those customers off of his ride because he had no power and he couldn't see anything. The Ferris wheel operator needed help and was waiting for help, and the only help he got was me. I was the only person in that park that cared enough to go over to check on him and to go help him. I was the only person that did that. So in total, I saved around 70 people that evening. I was honored by that amusement park for my service to that park, for saving all those lives. I'm going to have to stop recording because they don't seem to be doing anything anymore, and I don't want to waste my battery life on this camera. So I'm just going to have to stop recording now.